Hey guys, welcome back to Bok Bok Bouquet. My name is Ricardo and today we're doing this DIY chicken coop. And if you've gotten to this phase of your coop and you want to see how I put my chicken boxes, or I mean my nesting boxes together, I'm going to show you how I do that. So if you got into this phase right here, we got all our framing for our hen house. Now we need to do our nesting boxes. One thing you'll notice is that I like to build them directly on the platform where the whole coop stands on, versus it just sticking out of your coop for no particular reason, just floating in the air. It looks nice, but you don't really have to do that. I usually just build my nesting boxes directly on the tabletop of the chicken coop. I've already went ahead and cut all my wood, and then we're gonna go ahead and put our little side pieces here, what's gonna be the corners of our nesting boxes together. So full disclaimer, I always get people asking me for exact measurements on some of these things that I build. And I just want to say, I'm just trying to show you a general idea of how I put it together. So measurements are not super precise. They don't have to be exact because you can always customize your own coop to whatever measurements, dimensions that you would like. I'm just simply trying to show you how I do things here. If you could just follow along, if you want to know the measurements, I will tell you them, but they don't have to be super precise because this may not fit on the existing coop that you're building. So for us here, we're going to go 12 inches wide. So this will be the floor of the wall on the nesting box. So it's going to be 12 inches wide. And then these little bracing right here, I cut them out to be 10 and 5/8. I'm going to show you why I went with the 5/8 and not a full 11 inches when we get over to our coop over there in just a moment. But yeah, this is going to be 10 and 5/8. So figure you add 1.5 inches on this and 1.5 inches on that. That gives you 13 inches and 5/8. So I'm just going right below 14 inches tall for this nesting box. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start putting this together. I love using my corner clamp here when I'm working alone and you got something to hold on to. And it gives you a nice perfect 90-degree angle here. I bought this from Lowe's, but you can also buy it on Amazon, and I can leave the link in the description of this video. But see, that holds your corners together. So just go ahead and do a pilot hole here with your drill. Second one. And we're going to go with the 2 screws. Then we detach our corner clamp, and then we bring it to this side. We line that up, and see, it's super easy. It comes together like this. You tighten it down. So then you get this nice 90-degree angle here. See, now it's attached. And we're going to repeat the same process on this side. Do 2 pilot holes and 2 screws. And on the other side here, I'm just going to do 1 screw on the top. Since we have our 2 screws on the other end, the 1 screw will be fine. It'll hold everything nice and tight. Okay, now that's one of our sides. So it'll stand up vertically. We're going to just build another one to go on our other side. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces here now that we built. These are going to be the corners for our nesting boxes. Now we're going to go bring them to our chicken coop. Okay, and so this is the part where I tell you why I didn't go with the full 11 inches here. So we did 10 and 5/8. Is because this is now 13 and 5/8. And then my floor here on this one happens to be 3/8 of an inch. And once I do the sheathing on this coop, I want that to extend down that extra 3/8 of an inch like this, so that it goes over the outside of the floor here instead of on the inside. That way, if you're getting rains and things like that, it's not landing inside your flooring. It's going to extend on the outside of the flooring here. So anyway, that 3/8 with this being 10 and 5/8, it's going to give us a full 14 inches here for our wall at the front. And then we're going to make this slope up, and it'll be 17 inches in the back. But that's why I did that. For those of you that will ask, I'm using decking screws. These are 2.5 inches long. Okay, we're gonna start putting this together. We're gonna start with this one side here. This will be the first phase. We're gonna take one of our little clamps here and make sure everything's lined up right there. Everything's lined up here. And I'm gonna go ahead and clamp that down. Now, for me, since I work alone, clamps are my best friend because they hold everything up for me. I don't have to have an extra set of hands helping me around. So we're gonna just do a pre-drill right here. Do our little pilot hole, and then we're gonna do one more on this side. And then we're gonna screw that directly onto my floor here. There's a stud going across the bottom here, so we're gonna screw into that. And now that's bolted to the floor there, but it's still not attached to the framing of the rest of the coop here. So we're gonna make sure we line this up. Make sure it's lined up, and then we tighten down our clamp again so it holds everything and it presses against the wall there. And then we're just gonna pre-drill one hole up here, and we're gonna screw that down. You don't need a second one because that's gonna be pretty sturdy and it's not gonna go anywhere. So just the one here, the two on the floor, and that's that. We're gonna repeat the same process on the other side. Now we're gonna do our bracing here at the top, and that's gonna give us 39 inches, so the bottom should be 39 inches as well. Okay, so now we'll do the framing here at the bottom. That fits perfectly there. And then we're gonna clamp this down again. You're never not gonna see me use clamps. I love using them. And we're gonna just screw that down right here. And then for this top bracing here, we're gonna use our clamps there to just kind of help us hold it up. And then we're gonna use our corner clamp to do this corner here. We're gonna screw this one in from the side right here. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And for the last piece of this framing here, we're gonna just put a little brace in the center here so it could take some pressure there, a little load from the top. And we're gonna just line that up right in the center. So that's the framing in a nutshell here on my style of nesting boxes that I do. The only thing we need now is some dividers here so that we can make this big nesting box into 3 separate nesting boxes. Even the chickens usually like to lay in just one, but we like to give them options. So we'll have our dividers right there, and I'm gonna use some of my leftover siding. So what I use here is this multi-purpose 3/8 of an inch little shed panel, and that's what I'm gonna cover the rest of this coop with on all these studs. But I'm gonna take some of my leftover pieces and go ahead and do the dividing walls right here to separate those 3 nesting boxes. This is my leftover piece I was talking about here. We have a scrap piece. This is about 14 inches wide. We're gonna cut this to, remember our height was 10 and 5/8. We're gonna cut that just an 1/8 smaller than that, so it can fit right between. I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. We have our 2 dividers here, so they're gonna be able to slide right in here just like this. And that's why I said it's important that my height was about 10 and 5/8, so it could fit right through this slot right here. Now, these are just horizontal across the top. I don't need to make them at an angle. That's just an extra step that you can go above and beyond if you want to, but for me, I like to just keep them straight. Then we're gonna go ahead and clamp this down. And you guessed it, we're gonna go ahead and screw those in. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch from that 2.5 inch screw to a 1 1/4. And the reason is, since we're working on these 2x3s, I don't want the screw to poke out the other side and hurt one of our chickens, right? So we're gonna change to a shorter screw, and we're just gonna do a hole here and a pilot hole here, just a 2. Should be able to hold this together just fine. We got our 2 screws. Now we remove our clamp, and there we go. We have 1 divider. Now we're gonna do the one on the other side. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you're learning anything today. If you find this video helpful at all, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Share it with whoever you might be building your own chicken coop with, and let us know how it goes. I have a lot more to do with this coop today. We're gonna start working on some of the walls, my door cutout here, and my big human door cutout. But I just wanted to show you what the skeleton of this looks like, so you can get yourself a good idea of what it's going to turn out like. We're going to come back to it in a couple hours so we can finish off the siding over here on the side and the front, and even our nesting lid. But I just wanted to show you the skeleton. I did put that piece right there because if you're going to have your shavings here, you can go up to there, and the chickens could just jump in there to go lay their eggs. That way you don't have your shavings knocking over into their clean nesting boxes. All right, guys, well, some hours later, we got our little side cap panels cut out. This is a 15-degree angle. It's 14 inches on this side and 17 inches on this other side. No particular reason, that's just the way I've started designing these coops, and I've just been running with that same measurement. So no particular reason. Like I said, you can do your own angle and your own measurements, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm just showing you how I put things together here. And then also, we're gonna switch to these 1-inch screws for this part of the sheeting on the walls. So we're gonna just go ahead and clamp it out here. If you see here, and I basically got this 12-inch slab right here, and then I end up just marking the bottom to give me where I'm gonna cut my 50-degree angle. And so we just lined that up right there. But anyway, we're gonna just clamp this down. I got my other side clamped down already, and we're gonna do 4 screws on each corner, and it's coming together real quick. If you're wondering why I always wear goggles, it's because look at this. This is all sawdust. When I'm doing all my cuts, just dust flies everywhere. I'm wearing a mask, I'm wearing goggles, sometimes ear protection, but today I've been listening to music all day, so that's what we got. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and attach this now. Good deal. So you can see there's my corner. It's really starting to come together. That's gonna be our slope for our nesting box lid. And then I'm painting it at the moment right now behind the camera here. I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna show you how my lid would rest on that. So for me, there's no need to do a stud right here as part of the framing. This is strong enough, it's sturdy enough that it's gonna hold that nesting box lid. If you wanna do that, then that just means you gotta cut an extra angle there. Go ahead and do that if you want. I'm just showing you what works for me. I'm self-taught. I'm not a professional by any means. So, like I said, I'm just showing you what works and how to put something like this together. And now just for the face of the nesting boxes here, we got this 14-inch little slab, and we're gonna go ahead and just place this right here. Line it up. I like this side better. All right, our nesting box lid is now painted nice and white, and that would essentially rest on here like this. I'm gonna do some hinges here and another hinge right here, so I have a pair of hinges. So then when you come and open up your nesting box, you just pull up on this guy here, and boom, there you go. You got a nesting box lid. You can even add a lock out here on the outside for protection against predators. And for me, I like the design of opening it from the top. Some people like the design of how it opens in the front, and people say that's so that you don't scare your chickens when you open up your nesting box lid. However, we've been keeping chickens here for a while, and anytime I go and open it from the top, and if there's somebody in there laying, not even once has one freaked out and thought I was an aerial predator by any means. And I mean, let's face it, if you open up the back, chickens are alert. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what is that anyway? So if that's your theory, I mean, opening it from the front, you're gonna have the same problem anyway. Not to mention that you'd have to come and bend down and do that, unless your nesting boxes are way up here. But for me, this is what works. Nothing against that other style of nesting boxes. This is just my style and what I prefer, and just it works for me. I don't have to bend down or anything, and just come and open it up, collect our eggs every night, and that's it. Like I said, I haven't seen my chickens get scared even once ever. They usually just look up at me slowly and they go, hey, what's up? It's my dad. No big deal. I can even collect my eggs around them without them even moving and scaring them out of the way. The hinges here, that's probably gonna be part 2 of this video. We're gonna wrap this one up today because sun's setting, I'm losing light, but I just wanted to show you guys how we frame these nesting boxes, how we divide the nesting boxes, and how we even do a lid on here. This coop is almost finished. I'm still sheathing it. I got to do the windows, the door, and then obviously all these corners. Have you seen my coops? I always do white trim on them, so it's not quite done yet. Like I said, this is just day 2 of this build, but I got a lot work done today. Off camera, I was able to put all this together real quick. But yeah, if you're interested in a custom chicken coop for sale, I do build and sell these. We're located in Lancaster, California. That's just an hour north of Los Angeles. I do just local pickups. But if you want to go ahead and build your own, now you saw, hopefully this video was helpful and you saw how I put these together, and hopefully this video was of any help. I'm going to leave everything in the link in the description for products like the clamps, the corner clamps. So you saw this cool little wristband. It's a magnet wristband, and all my screws go on here, so I don't have to keep reaching for the box. Everything's just right on my wrist, and it makes things a lot faster. So I always try to work with practicality, get the job done faster, okay? Hopefully you enjoy your hobby like I am enjoying mine. We'll see you guys next week. Subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with the weekly uploads. Like I said, I might do another video on how to hinge the nesting box here, but that'll come out at some point, maybe next week or the week after, okay? Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all your help, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care of each other.